video the other day for the first time ever, and I'm really self-conscious about me being in focus of anything. I hate my photo taken. I hate anything about being on camera. I want to judge everybody's photos of me before they put it out there. I'm really anal about that. But I did this video the other day and I gave it to some very close family and friends to say, what do you think? And they said, yeah, do another one. So it really helped me because I felt a little bit more comfortable with seeing my face on camera. So because obviously we all think we look better than there is on a camera, I think anyway. And no, it really helped. And it's seeing yourself on a camera is how people see you. It's all the time because you look at, I don't know, when you're looking at your face, I think you look at just your eyes or your nose or your mouth, wherever you put makeup on, or your hair, but you don't actually look at your face as a whole. You tend to look at just those certain areas you're focusing on. Well, I do anyway. And no, it was really, I don't know what's the word, therapeutic. It was therapeutic for me to see me on a camera talking, and you don't even like your voice, do you? And I've got a cold at the moment, and I'm all nasally, so I'm all blocked up. So that's what I'm blaming when you think, oh, the woman's got a funny face. I'm just saying I've got a cold. So when I haven't got a cold, don't judge me, okay? Right, so I thought I would show you my fire and light a fire, because you see all these videos of fireplaces just burning, but you never see them being lit. So I thought, I'll light a fire. Now, it's a bit hit and miss lighting a fire, because sometimes you can have a rip-roaring brilliant one, and then the next time it's just a little spark and a little flame and no heat coming. So I thought I'd show you mine. So when I moved in here over a year ago, in here, this is my fireplace now, but what it was, let me go back a bit and see if you can see it better. So it was this really ugly back burner, and I got a builder in, or a stove fitter, and he knocked all of this plaster off and made this, well, he knocked it off, took a load of bricks out and found that there was an original fireplace here. And this is, so there's lots of hooks and things on the sides. This is where they used to hang their cooking utensils, I think. So there would have been a fire in there, and they used that to do all of their cooking. So these flagstones, I found those out in one of the stables. So I asked the builder if he'd dig those up, which he kindly did, and laid them as the hearth. And then he did this amazing, I don't know what it's called, but it's plaster. And he just did this kind of arch. I really like it because it's really uneven, it's not perfect, it's just like the rest of the house. It's just not perfect anywhere, and I like that. So so there we go. So he put this big fire in, because there's only about 5 radiators in the house, and because it's an old one. And this is basically most of my heating in the winter. Move that chair out of the way a minute. Okay, so if I angle this, you can maybe see the fire. No, you can't. Here we go. Who's that? Okay, so I'm going to light the fire. So, what I'm going to do is get some firelighters first. Now, if you're looking at that glass, you're probably thinking, oh God, that's really messy and dirty. But it's like that all the time. Every time you light a fire, you get all dusty and ash all over it. But as soon as you light the fire again and you get some flames going, it disappears and the glass goes clear. It can get really black sometimes if you've got a lot of black smoke, but as soon as the flames come, it cleans it again. The only time I clean it is when I'm not having a fire, say like the summer, or if I'm going away for a week. So it's just a nice clean glass. I use that pink stuff, just rub it on and rub it off. It's brilliant. Okay, so lighting the fire. I'm really not sure you can see everything, but I'm hoping you can. You can see my arm, that's for sure. Okay, so I'll come down here a bit more. So I've got the fire lighters. I keep those up by the window in a box, because any sparks that would come out could light those, so that's dangerous. So I always light 2, because if I do try and light 1, and most of the time it goes out because I'm not that good at it. So I do 2, and I'm pretty much guaranteed to get a fire then. So I've got these pieces of wood. I'll tell you about that as I'm loading it up. You kind of make make a little bit of an arc. So, oh, not like that. Not like that either. So you've got flames coming through and they're able to breathe. So it's kind of like making a pyramid really, so that the flames can come through and burn these pieces of wood. Now, these pieces of wood, you're supposed to use kindling wood, which that's what this is. I had lots of trees fall down that were on the ground when I moved here, and so I've been really lucky that I've got a supply of wood for, I should think about the next 10 years to be honest. Got a shed full of it. But all the bits of bark that fall off the logs when they were cut, I've just saved them, and they're just going to be my kindling for the year. So I've got loads of these little buckets. I go out and fill these bucket full of them and put them on there. So I'm just building it up a little bit so it's, yeah, it is like a pyramid. Can you see that? Let me bring you a bit closer. See? It's like a pyramid. And it's beginning to smoke, so that's a good sign. But just to put a few more bits on there. So that's going to start burning up. And then I tend to put a really dry piece of wood on top of that, like this, which is, I think this is what they use for kindling wood before they chop it. So I'm going to close the door now to keep the flames in. But on your fire, you've got several different air vents. I don't know what they all mean, but at the moment they're all open. So that goes across like that. That one goes across like that, and that one pulls in and out. So when you're lighting the fire, you want everything open. And as the fire gets bigger and is established, you can then close the vents and it becomes a really nice fire. So I'm going to just sit here. You can see the flames. Is that okay? And we'll see if it takes. I don't know. It's a tiny little flame at the moment, but we're just going to sit. Could be a while. It's coming, I don't know if you can see. It's beginning to burn on that top log. I'll take you closer. I don't know why I'm whispering. The fire won't go out if I'm louder. Can you see it's just beginning to take? So once it's taken, then I'll spread it out a bit more and put some decent logs on. So I'm going to put you back on the table while that's doing that. I can't do that without putting my hand in front, so. Lighting fire, it makes you feel so, I don't know. Have you ever seen Castaway? I think it's Castaway with Tom Hanks, where he's on this island. He has a plane crash and he lands and he's on his own. I'm sure it's Castaway. And he lights a fire. He eventually makes fire and he's jumping and dancing all around because he's just achieved fire. And I don't know, it just makes you feel like that. I really do want to jump like, hey, I've got fire, every time I do it. I've got 2 wood burners, so I do a lot of dancing, I have to say. I'm going to open up so you can see what it looks like out there. See, it's really burning on now, so I was going to touch that. So it's burning down, so I'm going to put another log on there now, because can you see the flames coming right at the back? It's lovely. It's going to be a lovely fire. So about another 10 minutes, that's going to be really firing. Really firing? Roaring, that's the word. I actually feel a bit embarrassed showing you that glass, but that's how it is. Every wood burner is like that, I think. I hope it's not just me. So it's getting hotter now. So the fan on the top, so there's no mechanics there. It's just physics. As it gets hotter, it starts spinning round. So that helps send the hot air out into the room rather than just circulating in this area, which makes such a difference. Before I had one of those, it was just this room that got warm, but now I can feel it all the way up the stairs. So I like this one in the day, and then it goes out in the night. But I'm going to get some coal this year a little bit, and so I can keep it, because it's a multi-fuel stove, so I can keep it going a little bit through the night and then just put some more logs in the morning, and I don't have to go through this process of lighting it every day. And to be honest, I never really sit here waiting for it to light like this. I think that this is obviously the first time ever. I light it, I go and make a cup of coffee, go and do some cleaning, change beds, whatever I'm doing, watering the plants, whatever, and come back and I have fire, which is lovely, and warmth. So the temperature gauge here, if you can see that, is going up. It's magnetic, so it's just got the temperature, so you can see how hot it's actually getting. And it sticks to it like that. Cool, hey? I'm going to sit here a moment and watch it a little bit longer, maybe make a cup of tea, and then I've got to go and plant some grass seeds, so I might take you out there with me and doing that as well. Now it's really burning before I go out. So that's the fire I started about half an hour ago. The heat, I can feel it way out here. If you can see the fan, it's going around really fast now. You can hardly see it moving, but that is just awesome. I'm going to leave that to carry on warming, and I'm going to take you out with me to go and plant some grass seeds, because it's due to rain this afternoon, and I really want to get some grass seed on the ground, so that A, the wind doesn't blow the seed away, and B, that it doesn't have time for the birds to eat the seed, because they really like it. So I have this bag which was full of seed about a month ago, and I've slowly been putting it on patches around the garden where there's a bit of bulb patches and things. So, but I've also, in this grass seed, okay, first of all, the grass seed, there's this company in Forest Dean, and I went to them and said, look, I've got some soil that is all different types. There's clay on there, there's good topsoil, there's some rubbly bits. I need to just grass it. What do I do? And they prepare a seed mix, and it's got like 2% of this and 5% of that and all sorts of different things. I did have a list of it, actually. Oh yes, there it is. And I think this is really interesting, but hang on a minute. You might not. Okay, so yeah, they've put 2 kilos of nifty int PRG and 2.5 kilos of Bijou late. Some Aston King late, some Glenarm late, some Dew Miss Timothy. That's a nice one. And some White Clover Bend. Whatever that means. Anyway, it's seed. And I don't know if it would show what it looks like in there. Let me get a handful. That was a better idea. So that's the grass seed. So you can see in there's some little black bits. Well, those weren't actually in the grass seed. So I had lots of poppies pop up everywhere. So poppies, when they've finished with their flower, they go to seed, and they have these little seed pods on the top of the stem. And on the top of the seed pod is it looks like a lid, but it looks like like a Colosseum, you know, with all the pillars. And when the poppy seed is ready to disperse its poppies in the wind, all these like little Colosseum doors open. It's not a Colosseum, obviously, but it looks like that in my head. That's what it looks like. Anyway, so I saved all these poppy seeds, because normally they just sway in the wind and release their seeds everywhere, but I picked them all before they could do that, so that when the Colosseum doors opened, I just tipped them up into a cup. Honestly, I had like that deep, thousands upon thousands of poppy seeds, which I've put in with this seed. Also, I've got a load of allium seeds from the purple alliums I had or grew this year from bulb. But apparently the seeds could take up to 2 years to turn into a bulb. So I've put all of those in there as well. So I've had a couple of little packets of wildflower seeds, so that's gone in the grass mix. So on this field, which is really big, and I want to kind of make it like a little bit of a, not a wildflower meadow, because I think that's too hard for me to do, too technical. So if you look, there's a lot of areas that are really quite green. So it's just taking a little bit longer for certain. It looks like the clay part of it is taking longer because it's very, very clayish. So I'm just gonna scatter, like you plough the fields and scatter the good seed on the land. Actually, so I'll be going back and forth to the bag because I haven't got a seed sower. I am the seed sower. So you can see I'm going on the ground. So it's going to rain this afternoon apparently, so this will just go straight into the soil and start growing hopefully. But we'll see. But just when I was telling about the seeds then, remind me of something that I've been kind of living by since I moved here. And I heard it a couple of years ago. Oh, I didn't hear it. You know, you go into a gift shop and there's those little plaques that have little sayings on them, and you can put them on your wall in your kitchen, in your bathroom, wherever. And some of them are really crap, but this one was, I really liked it. It said, and this is before I bought this place, it said, plant like your life depends on it, because it does. How true is that? With everything going on in the world, we should all be planting something, whether it's a tree or whether it's a tomato plant. Talking of which, I need to pick some tomatoes. Yeah, isn't that great? So plant like your life depends on it, because it does. Because everything we use on anything on this planet has come from a plant or a rock, hasn't it? Every disease we have has come from something we've either manufactured, and every medicine that we use to fix those diseases comes from a plant or a rock. So there we go. That's my philosopher. Is it philosophical? I think it's just me being me really. But yeah, it's going to rain in a minute. I came over here yesterday with my lawnmower. I've got this awesome little ride-on mower, and this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's really steep. So as I was mowing, I was like going sideways. So yeah, so I just want to do a bit more seed over there, and then I think I'm done, because it will naturally, I mean, whatever soil, grass is going to appear, isn't it? It just depends what kind of grass it is, but this is lovely and green stuff. It looks like the stuff that's come up already. Look at that over there. Yeah, this looks really nice. See how long that is? That's really great. But it's a bit patchy, so I think that's me sewing it originally, because I haven't got a sewing machine. Oh, I just got my hand. There we go. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Take care and go planting. Okay, bye bye.